Hello YouTube and welcome to the Devlog. In this video we're going to be showcasing a bunch of new things that we've made over the past 2 weeks. This consists of Spicy Little Number 3's new enemy AI that we coded, some improved scenery that I made for the gate area that was made in last Devlog, and a new starting area for Spunk, which is going to be like a little campsite, but you'll see that eventually. Thank you guys for 40 subscribers as well. We really appreciate the support from you guys. Now without further ado, let's just jump right into the video. Alrighty, and that brings us to the enemy AI. Now, this is a pretty simple concept. Now, don't forget, this is kind of simple, but essentially what it does, it makes the enemy follow Spunk when you get in range. Now, there's a bunch more that I'm going to explain later, but for now, all you need to know is that it's going to fit perfectly with the battle system that we're creating, and I've made sure to implement it in a number of different areas that are to come, but that's a little bit for later. So, essentially, we coded it so that when Spunk gets in range, the range circle, which is a casted out sphere, will get bigger, and when Spunk enters that after he, gets into combat, he will be stuck with the enemy chasing him. If you can leave this range, which will shrink after you enter, then the enemy will stop chasing him. But if the enemy gets within attacking range, the battle scene will commence. Now, we don't have the battle system done yet, that will be coming in the next devlog, but for now, it actually works quite well with what we're trying to go for. It's going to work well with the puzzle that we are implementing in the gate area as well. And it actually works quite good. I wasn't expecting it to do this well, but it came out good. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of fiddling with this. I've seen the AI and I've messed around with it a little bit in the past, but I want to see what happens when you mess with the settings, which are actually quite simple. They're essentially just controlling the speed of the enemy, which is the difficulty, because, well, we don't want to make it too fast so that Spunk literally cannot escape it no matter what he does, but we also want to have it so the enemy isn't a pushover, you can just run away. So I'm just going to crank the speed up and see how it works. Oh my goodness, that is quite fast. Oh my. I can't even move Spunk. This is just, it's right there on me. I can't do much. Maybe if I jump off the side, I can get it to go. Oh my god, it's not working. It's not working. I can't get it to stop. This enemy will not stop following me. Oh my god, I just can't shake it. This enemy's hard. Now, we're going to be using the stand-in because, you know what, we are the best game devs, and this is the best enemy AI that we can... Is that a sandwich? I won't question... Does it have a sword? Oh my, oh god, it's chasing us, no, what can we do, oh my god, I didn't anticipate for this, I thought this would be professional, top of the line, I can't do much, oh god, this sandwich, it won't stop. Okay, and now we're on to this gate. Now, a normal person would be like, this is a blank canvas, and we need to add something to it because this huge gate and button just isn't doing it. We need something to catch your eye, maybe like flowers or scenery around the entire area, because that's what a normal person would think. But guess what? I'm not a normal person. Wait, but it doesn't matter. This is my game, and I'm going to do what I want with it. So you know what? Let's just add a battlefield, because this is a gate, and the gate's got to protect against what? Enemies. What comes from the forest? Enemies. It's kind of mean to all people who live in forest and forest animals, but you know what? I don't care. It's my game. Don't tell me what to do. Now, I took my Gamedev angst, and I decided to make this whole battlefield area. And, well, let me just tell you about all the things I had to create, because we don't have much destroyed props. Alright, so starting off, I decided to make a cannon, because why not? You know what? Cannons fit well with the battle scene. All I did really was just create 2 wheels, make a little chassis down the middle, and just add like a little cannon top to it. And then boom, throw it in, add some cell shading, and it looks pretty good. Now, this did take the most time out of everything because I wanted to get the cannon look down, and I also wanted to add a weathered version, but that's next. Now, we also have the weathered cannon, or the destroyed cannon that I did, and essentially what I did, I took the knife tool in Blender, I chopped out a little bit of the cannon, and then I just separated it. And I wanted to add, like, the top piece that got cut out somewhere and make it a little prop, but I figured, you know what, if it's destroyed, that's probably going to be gone and used for spare metal, made by the people inside Split Town, which is right over the gate. Okay, so what's going to go better with the destroyed battlefield and destroyed cannons than destroyed structures? Because obviously something's going to get hit by the people outside trying to get some stuff. And, well, these might be for people who wanted to live on the outskirts of town, because they might not like the gate, or people just being right next to them. But sadly, it's going to get destroyed because of people coming from the forest, trying to get loot or stuff like that so that they can survive. And it's just going to add to the past of the whole area. It's going to add a story that maybe you can find out through lore books or secrets that will hide around the map. Alright, and to pair it all together, they're going to need somewhere to store their stuff, and what better way to do this than with a barrel. Now, we do have a chest model, but we are really reserving these for items and such to come out of them, because, well, barrels more represent supplies or food, and Spunk doesn't really need those. So they're just going to be remnants of what was there before, or from the people who decided to live on the outskirts and that their houses got destroyed. But the reason that they're left pretty much intact is because people are just going to take the food inside and go, not just destroy the entire barrel, or just take the entire barrel with them. But they are pretty heavy, so obviously they just grab stuff and go. So we decided to just add them around to show that there was ways to keep their food, because, well, you can't survive without food, and you're going to need it on the outside of town. Okay, and now this is going to be a little bit special. This area I've modeled to be where Spunk lands after getting thrown by the Jester. Now, we've moved this back quite a bit, but I figured this is going to be the perfect spot. A little campsite to show off who was there beforehand. Now, I'm not sure the lore people who are going to be here, I'm still figuring it out, but I want somebody to be there to explain to Spunk the controls, or at least the basics, because, well, just throwing them into the wild is not going to be the best thing. We want a little bit of a hands-on approach, but we don't want to hold their hand too much, which is why there's going to be parkour sections and puzzles right up ahead to show that they understand their abilities. And if they can get through that, then they can get to Split Town, and then learn about Battle UI. But for this area mainly, I wanted it to feel like Spunk crash-landed here. So I added a bunch of tiny little details to the entire area to make it seem like it's been weathered, and it's been there for quite a bit. And I wanted it to also blend well with the mountains that were right around them, because just having a random forest is not going to do it for me. I want there to be a little bit of trees and some rocks on the outskirts, to show really where it starts to blend. And I think I did it well, so I'd like to show you all the stuff that I needed to make this. Now, this might seem a little minute to others, but you know what? I wanted it to be here, because I thought it would just be a great little way to show what's happened. And essentially, this is a hole in the ground. Sounds simple, but really, it's going to show things have been weathered or something's crash-landed. And what better way to put it than where Spunk is going to land? Because obviously, he's going to get thrown through the sky and land down into the ground. And I want him to do a little jump animation to get out, because obviously, he's going to be stuck in the ground. But when he does this, he's going to get up and try to get out of this little ground hole area. And I figured it would also work with stuff buried in the ground to show that it's buried, because, you know, it's been pushed underground. And I added this where the cannons are and where some of the trees are actually sunk under the ground. And it adds a really good bit of detail to the scene. Okay, and what's a campsite without a tent? Now, it's quite basic to make this. It's literally an extended triangle with certain sides on it. But I also wanted it to fit the theme, so I had to use some beveling tricks, which is what a normal Blender user does, honestly. It's quite simple to do, and this wasn't a hard thing to make. Really, I just reused some old stuff, like some sticks in the middle to keep it up, and maybe some barrels to the side to give it a little bit more, you know, like feel, so that you actually have food when you're going camping and stuff like that, or supplies. So really, it was just a big triangle, extrude it backwards, bevel it, bam, stick in the middle, and you've got yourself a tent. Simple as that. And I put these all around the scene because it's a campsite and there's going to be 4 campers. And I also had a little area right to the side of it where there's going to be a person who explains something to you about the controls. But we haven't decided yet. Right now we're still designing it. Okay, and now we have the Wisdom Bean. Now this is going to be a stand-in for the person who's going to tell you the controls for the game. So essentially you're not just getting thrown into it, but this is the Wisdom Bean. For now, these are the beans that will tell you everything you need to know. They know everything and anything. Now, we're not going to make those options, but they will tell you how to move. Essentially, they are the wisest people of all. Alright, so I have a couple projections for next devlog before we end this whole video. So, like I said before, Spunk Devlogs take a while to make, and it's not like we're not having fun doing them. Really, I actually enjoy these, but sometimes we want to give you guys quality content. Not sometimes, all the time, I don't know what I'm saying. But still, we're trying to give you the best content that we can actually push out to you guys. And, well, some of this stuff takes time. And I also want to actually have a functioning game instead of just pumping out video after video after video. So if you expect a video in between, that will be normal because we need some more time to work on Spunk. And this battle system is taking us longer than expected, so if we can get it done and have it looking good, that will be awesome. Our projections really are improved battle systems, UI, and just general improvements to the entire area, and maybe some additions to Colorless Town. So keep that in mind when you're waiting for the next devlog. But without further ado, I'll just jump right into the outro. And that's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you If you made it this far, why don't you leave a like or subscribe? It helps us out a lot, and we would really appreciate it. It helps us make more stuff like this, and don't forget, it's all optional, you don't have to. If you have any feedback that's actually helpful and not just you suck, although that would be quite funny, we would really appreciate it to see it in the comments down below. We usually react to every comment, and we usually reply to all of them in a timely manner. But if we're all asleep, we can't really do that, so don't worry. But we would really appreciate it if you commented any feedback that we could do. But without further ado, don't forget, you're amazing.